Modern survival gear is built to look good on Instagram, but in the 1980s, military gear was built for one thing: surviving the Cold War. If the grid goes down tomorrow, that $200 titanium multi-tool will eventually fail you, but the heavy, ugly stamped steel gear from 40 years ago, it will outlast you. Today, we are opening the Cold War Surplus Vault. I'm going to show you 5 unbreakable 1980s military survival tools that you can still buy right now for under $10. Stop wasting your money and start building your kit. Tool number 1. The USGI Triangular Bandage, also known by 1980s medics as the Cravat. Modern preppers buy $50 tactical tourniquets and fancy slings, but in the Cold War, this single piece of compressed olive drab muslin cloth did it all. For about $3, you get the most versatile piece of fabric in military history. It is a heavy-duty sling, a pressure dressing, a splint tie, a dust mask for urban collapse, and a primary pre-filter for muddy water. It comes vacuum-packed with 2 heavy-duty safety pins. It weighs nothing, costs almost nothing, and has 100 different analog uses. Tool number 2. Trioxane compressed fuel bars. In the 80s, soldiers didn't have fancy jet boil stoves. They had a folding metal canteen cup in trioxane. For about $5 a pack, you get military-grade fire fuel. Trioxane doesn't care if it's freezing, it doesn't care if it's raining. It burns blue, it burns hot, and it creates almost no smoke, which is critical if you need to stay hidden in an urban survival scenario. Break off a crumb, hit it with a spark, and you have boiling water in minutes. Tool number 3. The USGI Olive Drab Waterproof Match Safe. Today, people rely on cheap gas lighters that freeze up or break. In the 80s, the military issued this crush-proof, high-impact plastic cylinder to keep fire accessible in the worst conditions on Earth. For roughly $2, you get a zero-tech container with a heavy rubber O-ring seal and a built-in ferro striker on the bottom. You can drive a truck over it, drop it in a frozen river, or bury it in the mud. When you open it, your storm matches and tinder will be bone dry. In a grid-down freeze, a $2 plastic tube will save your life, while a $50 gadget fails. Tool number 4. Genuine military spec 100-mile-per-hour tape. Do not confuse this with the cheap silver duct tape you buy at the hardware store. The 1980s olive drab 100-mile-per-hour tape has a cloth backing and an adhesive resin that permanently bonds to almost anything. For about $8 a roll, this is your primary grid-down repair kit. Veterans have used this to patch bullet holes in vehicles, create waterproof butterfly bandages, and seal chemical leaks. Wrap 10 feet of it around your lighter or a pencil and carry it everywhere. Tool number 5. Ranger bands. In the 80s, Rangers and Special Forces didn't buy these, they made them by cutting up old vehicle inner tubes. Today, you can buy a bag for $2 or make them yourself for free. They silence clanking metal gear, they secure loose straps, and they provide incredible grip on wet tools. But their ultimate survival secret? Rubber burns hot and slow. If you are stuck in a downpour, a single Ranger band acts as an extended fire starter that will ignite even damp kindling. Tool number 6. The USGI Commando wire saw. In the 1980s, downed pilots didn't have the luxury of carrying heavy folding saws in their survival vests. They carried this. For about $6, you get a braided stainless steel cutting cord that fits inside a wallet. Modern preppers overlook this because it takes physical effort to use, but this analog tool has no moving parts to break, no hinges to snap, and no batteries to die. By looping the rings around 2 sticks, you create an instant high-tension saw that slices through thick wood, plastic piping, and even bone. It is the ultimate pocket-sized mechanical advantage. Tool number 7. Mil-Spec brass snare and tripwire. Today, the industry wants to sell you expensive battery-powered motion sensors for perimeter security. The 1980s military solution, a $4 spool of 22-gauge brass wire. This wire is highly malleable, rust-proof, and almost invisible in the dark. It has 2 vital analog uses: building passive traps for small game when your food supply runs out, and rigging physical tripwire alarms around your shelter to wake you up before an intruder gets close. It doesn't need a Wi-Fi signal, and it doesn't run out of battery. It is raw, mechanical security. When the supply chains freeze, the gear of the past becomes the currency of the future. Equip your mind. Stop buying shiny gadgets and start building real skills. Welcome to the den. The sheep graze, the scavengers beg, but the wolf prepares. Hit subscribe and tell me in the comments, what 1980s gear do you still trust today?